Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today I bring you breaking news on an article that I found titled Naruto, 10 Kishimoto Forgotten Moments That Left Fans Fuming. Now, jumping right into this article, the very first point that they make, and the very first point that they're talking about is Naruto being given the Uzumaki name for protection makes no sense. Starting off this list is a plot hole surrounding the titular character himself. At birth, the village decided to give Naruto the Uzumaki name as opposed to the Namikaze name in order to protect himself. This is an absolutely nonsensical move since the Uzumaki clan was hunted down by several other ninja villages due to the sheer power they wielded. How does having this name protect Naruto from any harm? Well, we can only assume that Minato thought that his son would have a easier life if his last name was Uzumaki versus if his name was Namikaze. The reason I say that is because during the Third Great Shinobi War, there were only two ninjas that had flee on sight commands. That was the Yellow Flash, Minato Namikaze, and Wicked Eye Fugaku, Fugaku Uchiha. He was the father of Itachi and Sasuke. Imagine if Naruto's last name was Namikaze and they went to the Land of Water, the Hidden Mist Village, for the Zabuza mission, that the bridge builder arc that we saw Zabuza and Haku. It is entirely possible that somebody would recognize the last name Namikaze and want to exact revenge on Naruto for everything that had happened to him at the hands of, Minato. I don't know how he got the flee on order commands, but Minato was clearly fucking shit up out there for the other enemy shinobi. So it's possible that people would still hold grudges if they knew Naruto was the son of the fourth Hokage. We do have, some reference or examples of this within the, original series. The whole situation that happened with Hinata being kidnapped as a baby by the Hidden Cloud shinobi when he was going there just to sign a peace treaty to stop the violence. Here he is kidnapping Hinata to, I guess, try to ransom her off or potentially, steal her Byakugan. So we do have an example within the series of, children's lives being endangered just based off of their heritage. Also, referencing what you're talking about with the Uzumaki clan, I just want to expand on that a little bit because it's implied throughout all of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden that people just don't know who the Uzumakis are anymore. I see what you're saying, that his life would have been at risk because his last name is Uzumaki and the Uzumaki clan was hunted down, but this is the last name he's had his entire life. Whenever he yells his name, which he did quite often, my name's Naruto Uzumaki, I'm going to be the next Hokage. We hear it all the time. I'm going to be the next Hokage. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Believe it. Remember me. He says his last name all the time, and he says it to older Jonin level shinobi. If you would think that Zabuza or Gato or anybody in the Akatsuki would know the last name Uzumaki, but they don't. Nobody knows the last name Uzumaki. So in this regard, it's kind of the safer bet to give him the last name Uzumaki than giving him the last name Namikaze, which does incite rage and fear in people. Because if your father killed my brother and I find out that you're the direct son, what's anime logic gonna say about this? Anime logic is gonna say, oh, I can get my revenge through you because your father's dead. You see what I'm saying? And one more point I want to make is that we know another Uzumaki. And for whatever reason, even the current Uzumakis don't even know their own history. Naruto and Boruto probably doesn't even know the fate that the Uzumaki clan had. When Naruto met Karin, the one obsessed with Sasuke, the one with red hair, glasses, you bite her, you heal yourself, that Karin, she's an Uzumaki. But when she met Naruto, there was little, if any, reaction. She wasn't like, oh snap, you're an Uzumaki too? But your hair's not red, how are you an Uzumaki? Who are you related to? Karin, I don't even think, and I had to look it up just now, Karin doesn't even know she's an Uzumaki. And if she does, it was never expanded upon. Orochimaru knew that, she was an Uzumaki, and that's why, he saved her from the two people that were going to sell her off because of that ability that she had where if you bite her, you heal or you replenish your chakra. I don't know how that shit works, but that's about it. That's all I have for the first point. It's kind of long. I'm sorry it took so long, but, I got on a little bit of a tangent, but let's go on to point number 2. 9. The concept of Mangekyo Sharingan destroying the eye is conveniently discarded for Obito. The Mangekyo Sharingan is one of the most powerful abilities that an Uchiha can wield, but it comes at a terrible cost. Overusing this ability deteriorates the vision of a Sharingan user until they eventually go blind, and only the borrowed eyes of another Uchiha can prevent this from happening. However, it seems that this rule was conveniently discarded for Obito, who was able to use Kamui at a moment's notice without suffering any ill effects. This is a massive plot hole that everybody in the Naruto community had issue with, especially during the Fourth Great Shinobi War. But then we really found out through flashbacks and stuff like that was plugged in the anime that this man Obito was using his Mangekyo Sharingan ability heavily. He was basically living in that second dimension. You know, he always had it activated. So it was a huge discrepancy, especially since Itachi and Sasuke lost their vision so early on. I mean, I think I think Sasuke used his Susanoo like 3 times. No, he used it like twice. He used his Mangekyo Sharingan ability like 2 times and was already almost completely blind. He used it for the first time with his fight against Killer Bee. That was the very first time we saw it. Then he used it during the Hokage Summit. That was the second time. And then right after the Hokage Summit, he continued to use it with his fight against Danzo. But by that time, we already saw how much damage had been done to his eyes. But I will say this, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is an explanation that is given to us within the Naruto community, and that whole explanation is it's because he had Hashirama cells, right? Madara repaired Obito's body, I believe his entire right side of his body, with Hashirama cells, and that is the excuse or the theory that people in the Naruto community have when it comes to why he did not go blind. I don't necessarily subscribe to that due to the fact that Kakashi also used Kamui and his vision was perfectly fine. So that whole theory about Hashirama cells is out the window. I think Kishimoto just didn't apply it to Obito or Kakashi with this regard. But I agree with you for point number 9. Moving on. 8. Sasuke being able to randomly summon a hawk. Really, dude? The summoning jutsu is an extremely hard jutsu to master, with skilled ninja having to develop a bond with a particular creature as a prerequisite. In the case of Sasuke, he was able to summon snakes, or at least that's what viewers were led to believe. In a random moment of what can only be described as pure confusion, she randomly summons a hawk out of nowhere with no explanation whatsoever. It's a baffling moment that goes against everything that the show had taught us until then. I disagree heavily with you, man. I don't think that got anybody fuming. Like, I remember that episode airing on TV. That got nobody fuming at all. I think people were like, yo, this is badass. He just summoned a hawk. And to be honest with you, one of my biggest gripes I had with the series is that there weren't more jutsus being displayed to us, right? If you go look up and type in list of all Naruto jutsus into Google, you're going to see a massive list. I wish Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi displayed more jutsus to us, actually, because Kakashi, one of his epithets is the copy ninja, and they say he's copied over 1,000 jutsus. We don't see it. We might see 5. I think we saw 5 jutsus, not including movies and fillers, in the canon of Naruto. I think Kakashi may have used 5 jutsus in total. Don't quote me on that. But one more thing I want to mention regarding this is that Sasuke studied under Orochimaru. Orochimaru's whole goal is to master every jutsu in existence, right? So it would make complete sense as to why he's able to summon a hawk. We don't know if he did create a bond with this fucking hawk. He just could have done it, because him and the hawk are fighting in almost unison. So yeah, he might have created a bond with this hawk, but it was never really as a prerequisite. I mean, I guess that's what we saw with Gamabunta and Naruto, but it wasn't even really like a bond. It was like a gamble. He was like, if you could stay on my back until sundown, I'll let you summon me whenever you want. But for like the first 3 times he summoned Naruto, they really weren't on the best of terms. And you could chalk that up to that just being Gamabunta's personality. But number 7. Kakashi getting both the Sharingan eyes and unlocking the Susanoo seems awfully contrived. You're 100% right. I'm going to read it, but I just want you to know I agree with you with this point 1,000%. The 4th Shinobi World War was one of the most divisive arcs in Naruto, with the storytelling taking a very noticeable nosedive in favor of building up spectacular events. Perhaps the worst example of this is the fact that Obito randomly managed to give Kakashi both his Sharingan eyes before his demise, allowing the leader of Team 7 to activate his Susanoo. How did Obito manage to accomplish such a powerful feat? That too on the cusp of his demise. It's a question that Kishimoto has and probably never will answer. You know, that's because Kishimoto was fed up with everything involving Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Now, look, I'm going to bring this back up because it's always been a long-standing theory in the Naruto fandom that Kishimoto wanted the series for Naruto to end right after the Pain arc, but for some reason he needed to continue it, and a lot of people think that was at the hands of Shueisha and Shonen Jump because Naruto was their cash cow. Naruto brings in so much money even after it ending, which is probably why we have the Boruto series currently. It's a cash cow. They were like, no, you need to continue it, so he's continuing Naruto after the Pain arc, and that's generally when you see things going downhill, okay? Because I mean, what I think we had we had such a good solid conclusion after the pain arc. At the conclusion of the pain arc, Sasuke had just taken down Itachi, and Naruto had just gotten revenge for Jiraiya. He had become the strongest ninja in the village, and I think the only Akatsuki members left was Tobi and Konan and Zetsu. Those were the only three left. No one expected any of them to be doing as much shit as they possibly were, but who really knows? That's my speculation. But I can tell you that Kishimoto was probably fed up with everything involving Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. He has permanent nerve damage. He can't draw anymore because of all the work that he did for Naruto over those 16 years. So no, he's not the artist for Boruto. No, he wasn't the artist for Samurai 8. He can only write. You know, the war arc gets so much criticism for all the plot holes, but I can honestly tell you right now that if I was in Kishimoto's position, I would be yelling at everybody. If people came to me, oh, Hyuga, this doesn't make sense. Why did you write this? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Finish this shit up so I can be done with Naruto forever. That's just my impression of what I think happened with everything that went down with Naruto Shippuden, especially with the war arc. 6. Sakura's strength of 100 seal power came out of nowhere. Speaking of ham-fisted writing in the 4th grade Shinobi War arc, another glaring moment that comes to mind is Sakura unleashing the power of the strength of 100 seals to fight on equal grounds with Naruto and Sasuke. The writing of Sakura's character is already horrendous enough as is, and this moment does nothing to redeem her in the eyes of fans. I guess? I mean, well, the first half is wrong. The being redeemed in the eyes of fan is not wrong. It's either you love Sakura or you hate Sakura, okay? And there's really no in-between. Well, there is an in-between. I'm in-between. I'm impartial of Sakura, okay? But this, what you just said, is inherently wrong. I mean, I can't remember when. I'm going off of all of my memories of Naruto, but I have a pretty solid memory of Naruto. The way the 100 seal was described to us is that you have to divert chakra into this pool that's focused behind your forehead in the seal itself. Meaning there has to be this constant drip of chakra that is being poured into this seal mark. Then once the seal is complete, the little diamond will manifest on her forehead. Now, considering we found that out at the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, and the 100 seal mark finally manifested at the end of the entire series, I'm glad, because I'm like, was she not going to master this at all throughout the entirety of the series? But yeah, I mean, I don't see any problem with it. It just means that it filled up during the war arc, which is kind of convenient, but it's the end of the series, so I mean, it was either then or never. Point 5. The logic behind the Hyuga clan curse mark is flawed. The Hyuga clan curse mark served as a major plot point during Naruto's fight with Neji, showing the blatant discrimination present in the clan, that the branch family getting the short end of the stick, no pun intended. However, on closer inspection, the curse mark makes no sense. The whole point of this curse is to prevent anyone from stealing the Byakugan, since it gets deactivated upon death. However, it's not like the members of the main family aren't impervious to being kidnapped. Why don't these people also have a failsafe? Great grammar. I agree with you 1,000% on this. And I'm not just saying that because my name is the legendary Hyuga. I 1,000% agree with you on this, because I didn't catch this the first time that I watched Naruto because I was really young when this episode aired. But I remember watching through it my second time, and I remember thinking, I was like, how does that protect the Byakugans on the main branch family side? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping y'all from getting kidnapped unless y'all never go into battle? But we've seen Hiyashi fight on multiple occasions. There's nothing stopping y'all from getting y'all's Byakugan taken. This is just a way of oppression to the branch household, just so y'all can fuck with them. Even the picture that you use in this article is Hiyashi fucking with his brother, his own twin brother. That's what he's doing to him, for nothing more than just glaring at Hinata. But the whole reason that he glared at Hinata is because of the systemic oppression that is being bestowed upon them. Honestly, when it was being explained in Naruto, I was like, wait a minute. From the Hidden Mist village, Ao, however you say his name, has a Byakugan in his right eye. And I just couldn't help but think. I was like, you know what? He probably got the Byakugan from a member of the head branch family from the Hyuga clan. And I couldn't. I like, it's just so flawed logic. I agree with you on this point. 4. Neji's demise was completely avoidable. Speaking of the Hyuga clan, it's time to talk about the heart-wrenching moment in the series that could have been completely avoided. While it was While it was certainly noble of Neji to sacrifice himself in a bid to save Naruto and Hinata, the fact of the matter is that both the members of the Hyuga clan could have easily taken care of the spears heading towards them with their abilities. It seems that Kishimoto forgot about their air palm technique or his rotations. Either of those could have taken care of the approaching threat without requiring a completely unnecessary sacrifice. I agree. 900%. Okay, I don't agree 900%. But I gotta remain unbiased. Neji is my favorite Naruto character. And if you don't know, the legendary Hyuga was, derived from Neji, because I believe it was even Hiashi himself that said Neji is the most gifted Hyuga this clan has ever had. No formal training whatsoever. He had to learn the rotation, the 64 palm, and the 128 palm all on his own. Regardless, I don't think it was it was avoidable. Not in the retrospect of what you just said of using the air palm or the rotation, because there is a limit to how much you can deflect with an air palm, and there's a limit to what you can rotate away. I disagree with you, because up at this point in time, they had been fighting for 3 days and 3 nights. They were completely out of chakra, and the only reason that they could have continued fighting during the 4th Great Shinobi War is because Naruto shared almost all of Kurama's chakra with 100,000 people on the allied shinobi forces. Y'all remember that scene where some way, shape, or form he was able to sync Kurama's chakra with the chakra of everybody on the battlefield? Niggas he ain't never met before, he was able to sync chakra with them. So for the longest, they were fighting with just Kurama's chakra. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that they were completely out of their own chakra. So the minute Kurama ran out of chakra, everybody was still out of chakra. So they couldn't use any jutsus at that point because they had no more chakra left. And that was also a huge moment that we found out that Kurama actually did have an upward limit to chakra that he had. Because the minute all the chakra turned off, Naruto's like, Kurama, what are you doing? We need your chakra. And he was like, hold on a minute, G, I gotta make more. And he was like, you gotta make more? He was like, yes, I don't have infinite chakra. That was a huge moment in the Naruto fandom that we found out that he does have an upward limit. But 3, Hashirama's death is never explained by Kishimoto. Hashirama Senju is one of the most powerful ninja of all time, and the person responsible for putting an end to the life of the great Madara Uchiha. So how did Hashirama perish? According to the history, his demise was wholly unremarkable and happened randomly during the First Great Shinobi World War. This is the most unsatisfying conclusion to any ninja's life in Naruto. A person who managed to defeat a powerful force like Madara fell in the hands of a random unnamed shinobi. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I disagree. But I disagree because we actually don't have an explanation to how he died. So for you to say his demise was wholly unremarkable and happened randomly during the First Shinobi World War, it's wrong because we don't know. Unless you have connections to Kishimoto and asked him directly, we don't know how he perished. We know that he had a hand in training Hiruzen, but I don't think he died during the First Great Shinobi War. 2, the introduction of Izanagi and Izanami seems awfully convenient. Izanami and Izanagi are 2 of the most powerful techniques available in an Uchiha's arsenal, and yet they're revealed so late into the timeline of Naruto that they've lost all impact. If these jutsus were all that important, then why didn't Itachi use them beforehand to further his goals? If anything, the Izanami would have been the best way possible to avoid any further bloodshed between the Uchiha and the rest of Konoha, speaking of which. I agree with you with them just being massively convenient introductions, but if you look at the history of Sasano, Izanami, Izanagi, Amaterasu, and Tsukiyomi, you know from a mythological standpoint they all tie into each other. So yes, they were random to just pop up and have this insane ability to create a genjutsu that you could never break, and creating a reality of that genjutsu or whatever you imagine is absolutely insane. Your whole notion of if Itachi could have used them beforehand to further his goals, you know that the use of Izanami and Izanagi create instant blindness. So while he could have used it on one person, everybody else around him would have been completely aware of what just happened. So no, he couldn't have used it to further his goals because he would be permanently blinded. And it's like he had to stop an entire coup, which was dozens of Uchiha, and then he would also have to use it on Danzo to stop him from doing the stupid shit he was going to do. It was a lot more work than what you're trying to make it seem like. Last but not least, 1, Itachi's entire master plan is the most flawed aspect of Naruto. Itachi might be the most beloved character in Naruto, but a closer look will reveal that his entire master plan is completely flawed. For starters, the idea of killing the entire Uchiha clan in itself is incredibly barbaric, and it's highly improbable that the Leaf would condone such an action to begin with. Okay, pause. You say it's improbable that it might happen, but they did approve of it, and it did happen. Danzo actually made it to where all the Uchiha were in one place so that the shit could go off without a hitch. Yes, the Leaf condoned it. Hiruzen also condoned it. The Elders also condoned it. Let's continue. However, the worst part about this plan is that Itachi let Sasuke live so that his hatred and power could grow to the point so that he can become powerful enough to become a protector of Konoha after he figures out his brother's true intentions. Just to clarify, this is the same Konoha that forced Itachi to cull the entire clan and forsake his livelihood for the greater good. Did Itachi not realize how badly this plan would backfire? You know what? He didn't. And he has to own that shit. He did not understand just how fucked up that plan was. He didn't understand just how many areas he didn't account for. You know, there is such thing as being too smart for your own good, and this was him. Okay? But he did make a deal with Danzo. We saw that in the filler, I think Itachi's Gaiden, and we also read that in Itachi's light novel that Itachi threatened Danzo, and he said, if anything happens to Sasuke, I will leak every secret that the Leaf Village have to every enemy village. He would have went to the Sand Village, the Cloud Village, the Earth Village, and the Mist Village, and he would have just spilled every secret that Konoha had. He would have probably leaked all the defense blueprints and the blueprints of the village. He would have said everybody has this. He would have said, you know, the Hiruzen has a kidney stone. Danzo, you know, he has an armful of Sharingans. He would have said the entire nine. And Danzo, no matter what you think about him, he was always about protecting the village, so he couldn't risk that. So there's that, and yeah, I mean, it was just a fucked up circumstance. It was really just a fucked up circumstance. Like, none of that should have happened. I don't know why he thought that if you want your brother to start hating you, he's gonna start hating in general. And if you're constantly belittling him and saying you're not strong enough, Sasuke, you got to get stronger, be stronger, Sasuke. Well, he can only get so strong in the village. That's why he sought out Orochimaru, and Orochimaru knew about this and preyed on it, which is why we had everything that happened go underway. But there's no way, there's no fucking way in your entire life you would believe that after Sasuke finds out everything that happened to not only his own clan at the hands of you, he's hated you for so many years, but not only everything that happened at the hands of you to the clan, to his father, to his mother, but then he finds out that it was that same village that ordered him to do it. Did you really think that that was going to fly over for him? No, of course not. But like I said, there's such thing as being too smart for your own good. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for y'all today. If you made it to the end, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. It lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on this channel. If you are new, you know what to do. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video, all that fancy stuff. And like always, keep it safe and wrap it tight. I'm out.
Straight ahead!
Let's get out there.
Sir, take this!
What is it?
Hacking module. Can hijack a bot's view.
Okay, I'm in.
Now control the bot to attack. Quickly, Lieutenant.
Enemy identified.
Good work, Lieutenant. That's good tech.
Keep it, sir.
All stations, Marines are pinned down. Gold teams cannot advance. We need immediate suppression.
Eclipse, this is Top Cat. How copy?
Rise, Admiral. Send traffic.
I need your airship drawing fire at the tower for ground force cover.
Clear, sir. Inbound hot.
Let's cut through here. Zeta forces, blue!
Hold your fire! Lieutenant Reyes, get your jackals in the air for fire support.
Roger that, sir.
Medic!
Retribution, this is 1-1.
Go for it, 1-1.
Gator, I need